Hi, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate when you listen to my episodes. Okay, I have a confession to make. I've screwed up for about 2 years now. I've listened to a lot of podcasts lately, and I realize that I've been delinquent and really missed the boat on asking you folks to do me a favor. Everybody asks their listeners to do this, and it really helps us. So, number one, please hit the thumbs up. Just hit that little thumb there and like it. And then that'll help me with the algorithm. Secondly, leave a comment. Anything you want to say. I hate it. I love it. It helped me. I cried. Why is your guest so weird? Whatever you want. Thirdly, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, that's it for my commercial for today. Please enjoy this episode. Greetings, Wilkinson here. I am here today with Shaun Waters. Who is Shaun Waters? I can make a joke, but I won't. He's my realtor. He's a friend and a local guy in Palm Springs. So say hi to my peeps.
Hey, everyone. I'm Shaun. How are y'all today?
Wow, you're loud. I'm going to turn that down a little
bit.
Okay, that's good, though. Keep talking that loud. All right, where are we going to start? You're gay. Oh, my God.
Very gay.
Another gay guy.
I keep reading.
I think it's your leopard leotards that gave me the clue.
It wasn't the...
And they're pink.
Well, it wasn't my pink toe shoes, my ballet flats.
You're very gay looking right now. I mean, you're in business casual, but you don't have any socks on.
It's
the look. But you don't wear shorts, as many realtors here do. Huh? Or why not?
That's actually a very good question. First off, I have very pretty legs, first off. I want to let you know. Very, very pretty legs.
I'll have to be the judge.
Yeah, good calves. I love a well-turned calf myself. I don't know, actually. One of the reasons I think that is just because it's a little less professional when you're in shorts. So, if I'm showing a house, I like to be a little bit more professional, so we're going to put on some pants.
At least for a while.
At least for 5 minutes. Yeah.
All right. Let's hear your gay story. Where are you from originally? Family situation, coming out story. How did all that unfold? How did you unfold?
How did I unfold?
Yeah.
Well, I was born in 1981 in Southeast Virginia in a small little town just kind of outside of Williamsburg, Yorktown, Jamestown. The town itself is called Suffolk, Virginia.
How far from Roanoke is that?
It's still about 4 hours from Roanoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still a good...
You said South End, right?
Yeah, southeast, just above the North Carolina line.
Carolina?
North Carolina. So I grew up a young gay kid in rural Virginia and grew up dancing. My mother put me in dance classes from elementary school. I started dancing doing what's called clogging. And if you're not familiar with clogging, it's basically like Irish step dancing with arm motions. A little bit more panache, a little more style.
Isn't there a famous play that they do that? A theater thing? That there's clogging shows, right?
There's not really like a theater clogging show. The only one I can think of would be at like...
What's stomp? What is stomp?
Stomp. So stomp is just basically percussion and rhythmic.
They tap dancing or what? They're dancing around.
There are some tap dancing.
I saw that so many years ago. I can't remember.
Savion Glover actually was the one who came out of Stomp.
Okay.
So he's tap. I also do tap too, but that's a different... We'll get to that part later. But
okay.
So I grew up doing clogging and...
Were you an only child?
I was not an only child. I have a brother who is 3 years younger than myself.
So your mother said, "Oh, this kid is gay. I'm going to throw him in a leotard and throw him in dance school."
Not at 3. That didn't happen until 6. So... At 3, I was still pretty gay, though, just to let you know.
Seriously?
I really was. There's a photo of me, and I'm wearing a little navy blue velvet sailor outfit with satin kerchief.
Wait a minute.
And I look like little Lord Fauntleroy.
I know, but you're 3. You did not buy that yourself.
Yeah.
Did you? And you couldn't have even picked it out at age 3. So let's hear the real story.
The real story is I had a gay uncle who was called Uncle Tubby.
Was he?
No, she was rail thin.
Oh, Uncle Tubby is a female?
No, Uncle Tubbies are, well, a cis male.
Okay.
The proverbial she.
Okay.
So, yeah, Uncle Tubby was very, very thin. He has a big influence in a lot of my life, actually, especially regarding musicals, music theater, music as a genre.
Did he take you shopping?
No, he never took me shopping.
Okay, well, come on. We're getting to the bottom of this.
All right,
End
so
up with
basically...
a velvet outfit. Come on.
The navy blue velvet and satin ensemble was bought for me by Uncle Tubby. And
oh, he did buy it?
Yeah, he bought it for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a gift from him. And so my mother took me and my brother to Olin Mills or Sears, one of them, and had our photos taken. And I am just the queerest thing in shoe leather.
Wait, what was your brother wearing?
My brother was wearing a little pair of overalls with a little football on them.
Did Uncle Tubby buy that?
No, Uncle Tubby didn't buy that.
So Uncle Tubby was zoned in on reality. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, this one right here looks like there's a little sugar in the tank.
So your brother's straight though, right?
Yeah, brother's straight.
You sure?
Yes, very.
Okay.
I don't know if we would even claim him if he wasn't. So I think,
right.
Pretty sure he's straight. Yeah.
So your mother put this velvet outfit on you.
Uh-huh.
And then signed you up for dance school.
Very first time was feeling my oats. And then, yeah, she signed me up for dance. No, I started actually doing dance in a local community group called the Peanut City Cloggers. And
wait, the penis cloggers?
Peanut City.
Oh, Peanut City.
So where I'm from is Suffolk, Virginia, and it's the peanut capital of the world. And it's actually the birthplace of Mr. Peanut.
Really?
Yep.
You know, I used to have one of those plastic things. It was I think a piggy bank, but it was Mr. Peanut.
Yep.
It's a collector's item.
So Mr. Peanut was born in the same area I'm from, and...
Okay, we're going to stop for one moment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had, or do you like, boiled peanuts?
Okay. So I like boiled peanuts.
Ugh, get out of here.
It's a texture thing. It's
so gross.
It's totally a texture thing.
It's so gross. No flavor. Ugh.
They've got a wet peanut flavor is the flavor. The flavor itself is wet peanut. Which is never a great flavor, by the way.
So why do you like them? It's like, why?
I think it's more of a tradition than actual Epicurean delight. You know what I mean? I enjoy the idea and the tradition of them at pig pickings and low country balls. But I'm not going to sit around boiling peanuts so I can snack on them while
they boil it in water. They boil them in water.
Yeah, they boil them in water.
Yeah, but people think they boil them in oil or something.
No, they boil them in water with salt.
Yep. And they're like...
They're just mushy.
They're awful.
They're just wet. It's a wet peanut flavor. And nobody has ever been like, yes, give me more of that wet peanut.
So why do they do it?
It's just tradition. It's just part of what you do.
Traditions must die.
Well, I mean, not in the South. Not in the South.
When I had my waterfront triplex north of Seattle, and I rented out 2 of the units next door to my unit for 14 years, I had this Southern lady there, and she made me eat boiled peanuts. Ugh. She thought they were wonderful.
How often did she make boiled peanuts?
I don't know. I did it once. It was like, I was gagging. It's like, oh my God.
I've only had them a handful of times. So let's not sit here and think that I'm some sort of...
Okay. Yeah. So when did you leave that part of the country?
So I was born and raised there, and I left there at the age of 18, and I did 2 semesters of college in Mars Hill, North Carolina.
All right, stop again. Where's your accent?
My accent is from Virginia.
That right now, that's a Virginia accent?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not Southern?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I think the Virginians have a little bit more of a genteel Southern accent, but it's still there. It's just not as a much of a draw as you would get in Georgia and Texas.
Do you like sweet tea?
I love sweet tea. I know you hate it. I know you hate it. I love sweet tea.
I'm too plump to be liking sweet tea. There's like 2 cups of sugar in every cup of water in sweet tea.
That's a good ratio. That's a good ratio right there.
It's awful. No. Anyway, moving on.
So, yeah, I left there and went to Mars Hill, North Carolina, which is about 20 minutes outside of Asheville. And
You left there at 18.
well, I moved there at 18. That's where I went to my first 2 semesters of college. And then I got there and realized that a private Baptist college was not for me. And this was before Asheville was kind of like a recent gay mecca. Like, there was still nobody there. So, yeah, moved there at the age of 18, went to school, and then quickly left after about a year.
You said that's college.
And that's the first 2 semesters
So
of college.
you were a gay freshman at that point?
Very gay freshman.
Okay. So we skipped over your coming out then.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Let's go back. All
right.
All right. So,
So Mama said when you were 5.
Mama told me. So let's go back, actually back it up quite a bit then.
Okay.
Let's go back to like growing up and doing dance and being gay. You know, I was one of these people where my mother put me in dance at a young age. So there was really no kind of hiding who and what I was. I was in dance class with a bunch of girls. I had mostly girl friends in school, hung out with girls. I was really not bullied that much growing up. I had a lot of friends that surrounded me. Was very active in a lot of activities. And so bullying really didn't kind of come into play in my life. And I knock on wood for that. But I went to school in a area that had a magnet school for children in the arts. So I went to a magnet school for performing arts called the Governor's School for the Arts in Norfolk, Virginia. This was a school that you would go and study these disciplines from about 1 p.m. till 6 p.m., and then you would just do shows. I was exposed to a lot of other gay, bi children.
Wait, so you went to Norfolk?
Yeah.
Was that your idea or your mother's?
That was my idea because I wanted to go to school.
The school and the sailors is what you were going for, right?
Absolutely, the seamen.
Yeah.
I was there for the seamen, of course. Hello. So I went to school for that, and then I would come home after doing that at 6 p.m. every day after studying musical theater, and I would do my homework, and while I would do my homework, I would always watch Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And one day I was doing homework and watching that show, and my mom basically asked me if I was gay. I was 15 years old, and she pretty much asked me out of the closet. And, you know, I grew up doing dance. I'm doing musical theater. There was nowhere to hide. And so I just kind of acquiesced.
And the movie you're watching, hello.
And, exactly. Hello. I was obsessed with drag queens growing up. I was obsessed. And so I said yes.
Oh, that's what made you gay, really? The drag queens, I'm sure.
I think it was the love of dick.
Okay.
I think it was the love of dick that I was like, So she asked me out the closet. And, you know, when she asked me out, I felt like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders, that I could actually just admit to her, you know, my big secret, as if nobody didn't know, as if no one had any inkling. And so, you know, her reply to that was basically to give me a big hug, let me know that she will always love me, always care for me, and she'll always be there.
And here's a pack of condoms.
And, you know, she just told me that it's going to be a hard road to hoe. And
is that why you're a hoe?
No, that's a totally different podcast.
That's another story.
Okay. Totally different show. Right. But she just said it was going to be a hard road to hoe. And that really kind of stuck with me. And I've never thought that this life was going to be easy. I have found ways to make it easy so that basically being gay isn't any factor. And that's what it's like living in Palm Springs. You're surrounded by so many gay people all the time that you don't see the variance in gay and straight. You know, they're just people.
Most of the straight people here are fine with gay people.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever really met anybody in the area, and I've lived here 12, 13 years, that has had any issue with gay people. Have
you gone east a few towns?
Pardon?
Have you gone east a few towns?
I have gone east a few towns, and I've even saw the parade that they like to have on Sunday morning.
Wow.
Flying their special flags.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you mentioned your mother. You've never mentioned your father. You must have had one.
Yeah, I had one. I have one. Let me reiterate. I have one. Very nice guy. We're just not close.
No.
Growing
Where
up,
was he on the gay coming out thing? Was he involved or no?
he was just very much kind of nonplussed by the entire thing, you know? He very much took a backseat role in my raising and in my rearing. And, you know, he just really, it was just another aspect. There was neither good nor bad. It was just what it was. He and I have since become cordial. I'm not ever going to say that we're close. We're not close. And that's only for the simple fact that we don't have much in common.
Right. Yeah. Are they still together?
They are not together. They got divorced at the age, or my age of 18.
Okay.
Was when they got divorced. You know, they stuck together for my brother and myself. Whether that was the better idea or just something that they thought was best, you know? I think it was actually probably more of a hindrance than a help in the development of myself and my brother especially. But we're going to digress.
So your brother was 12 when your mother said that to him. Was he aware of that conversation at that time?
In regards to what?
You're coming out. She asked if you were gay. So you were 15. He's 3 years younger. He's 12. So
I don't really know if she and he ever had a conversation about it, or if it was just confirming what was already suspicion. You know, we really didn't talk too much about it in regards to with my brother. My brother was already through with me. Oh, I put my poor brother through hell growing up. Because, like I said, I was obsessed with drag queens. And so I would maybe throw on a pair of heels, maybe a wig, and I would just traipse around the house. And
wait, how old were you doing that?
Early teens.
Okay.
I would probably say I'm in, you know, ages 12 to about 15, maybe even beyond that.
Right.
You know, do we ever really outgrow heels? But maybe in the fact of he just kind of knew. It was just an unspoken thing. So there was really never any affirmation to him in regards to my sexuality. It was just kind of like, oh, you know, it was expected. You know, it was never a big issue.
Oh, that's just Shaun.
Yeah, that's just Shaun. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But my brother now and I are much, much closer.
Okay.
So, and I'm grateful for a new relationship with him.
What state does he live in?
He lives in Virginia still.
And he's married?
Nope. Single guy.
Always?
Straight. He's had relationships in the past, but
Never married?
never married.
Yeah, he's gay.
Yeah, no. Oh God.
I'm kidding.
Just
you
even feels weird. Even feels weird saying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let's go back to the sailors or seamen, as you call them.
Okay.
So how was that?
How was growing up and living in an area that
No,
has...
when you went to Norfolk.
Okay. Well, so Norfolk is a town that's just about 30 minutes away from Suffolk, which is where I was born. And so Norfolk was the big city to us. And like I said, that's where I went to school for musical theater after my normal school in Suffolk. And so we really didn't have seamen or Navy guys around us then, all right? So it really wasn't a thing.
There's a Navy base, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's the largest Navy base on
like
the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, where were they?
Well,
Locked up on the ship?
I didn't discover them until I went to the gay bars.
Oh.
Yes. I didn't discover the Navy boys and how to speak Navanese and the meaning of BOQ, which means Bachelor Officers' Quarters.
Oh, really?
Which is where the single daddy officers would be in their neat khaki outfits and that little piss catcher hat they like to wear. It's very attractive. But I discovered the Navy, as it were, only when I first came out and going to gay bars, and that's where I met all the Navy guys, and I became good friends with a lot of Navy guys. You know, I had a lot because so many of them were gay. You know.
Now you went there when you were 18. You said. So did you wait till you were? What's the legal age to go to bars there?
Legal age is 18.
Oh, it is?
I didn't wait till I was legal age to go to bars, though.
You broke the rules.
Oh, my gosh. I'm a bad boy. I'm a rule breaker.
Really?
When I was
Is it still 18 there? Seriously?
It's still 18 to go to bars.
Wow.
So when I was going to school for musical theater, I studied dance at the Virginia Ballet Theater, at which point I met a gentleman by the name of Kyle Taylor, who was the masseuse for the Virginia Ballet Theater, for the ballet dancers. And I like to say he was my first crush. But he was a masseuse there, and he was this short, butch, flat-top haircut, stocky, muscular build, white wife beater, clean-shaven, dark Levi's, black combat boots. He was my first foray, first visual of a quote-unquote leather man.
Okay.
And so I was 15, and I'm guessing he was about 35 at the time. Kyle Taylor, actually. Hi, Kyle. Kyle Taylor still lives here in town.
In Palm Springs?
He lives in Palm Springs.
Seriously?
We're still really good friends. But he was my first crush. So...
you need to get Kyle on my podcast.
Okay, we can get Kyle on the podcast. And so he was my first crush, and he actually snuck me into the back door of a bar called The Garage. And The Garage was this, I don't want to say skeezy, because that sounds rough, but it was this old dive leather Levi bar where it smelled like stale beer, broken dreams, and really, really old kitchen grease. And that was the smell. That was and cigarette smoke, of course, because, you know.
Oh, that sounds so pleasant.
Oh, but that's the smell of gay bars in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Wow. So, yeah, so he took me to my very, very first gay bar. Very first gay bar was The Garage. And I was about 16 at the time. So I kind of snuck in. So don't tell anybody. That's our secret.
Wait, did Kyle give you a massage?
Oddly enough, Kyle and I have never played and or had sex, and or I haven't received a massage from him because he's a massage therapist. But
it was a legit massage.
It was a real one, like no happy ending style.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, that's a little background on my first foray into the gay bars. And oddly enough, that gay bar was one of the first bars that I worked at. I used to bartend there, and it was the backbone of my young gay adult life. Because I had a lot of great friends there, and it was the local hangout. And like I said, I used to bartend there for a little bit and used to wait, do a cocktail waiting. So,
Pop quiz. What percentage of Navy guys in Norfolk do you think are gay?
I'm going to give you a 15 to 20% on that.
Wow. They're like flocking to the Navy. I mean, okay. if 3% of the general 3 to 5 of the general population, and that's what, 15 to 20, you said?
Are we now 3 to 5% of the population is gay?
Are we?
I thought we were 1 out of 10. I thought we were 10%. Huh. I've always thought 1 out of 10 gay people were gay.
They must be having gay babies, or I'm out of touch. I don't know.
But to answer your question, is the Navy a gay magnet? Let me tell you my theory. I'm going to answer your question with a story, all right? Let me tell you my theory on the village people, okay?
Okay.
All right? So, I believe that the village people are like gay spirituals, okay? And what I mean by that is, if Negro spirituals during the unfortunate time of slavery in the Old South would lead slaves to freedom, the village people helped lead gay people to their locations and their place of belonging with songs like, number 1, In the Navy.
Okay.
Key West. Is it Fire Island? Don't go in the bushes. Don't go west. YMCA. They were kind of leading us to our gay liberation and our gay freedom. So, in theory...
So there's hidden clues.
There's hidden clues.
Wow.
The village
I never
people
thought of that.
Are gay spirituals.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, the Navy is very, very gay.
So what are all the characters? So there's the cop, right?
There's a cop.
And what else? The cop, there's a cowboy, isn't there?
Cop, cowboy, leather man.
Okay.
Construction man.
Ooh.
Military man.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
All right. And they're kind of interchangeable. So, like, sometimes you wouldn't have a construction guy. You would have a military guy or a cop. You would always have a cowboy. You would always have the Indian. Sorry, we forgot about you, Felipe. Would you die if he was listening to this?
Really?
But yeah, and so sometimes you would see the cop, the construction worker, and the military personnel would kind of swap out.
Which is interesting because those are pretty much categories of uniforms that gay guys like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think people knew at the time that the Village People were gay. Anybody sound off? I mean, you were around then.
Oh, I didn't listen to any of that stuff. I was a good.
You were listening to Joni Mitchell?
What year are we talking?
We're talking late 70s. We're talking 77 through about 81.
No, I was married. I was straight. I was studying for the ministry.
Oh, look at you.
No.
Getting right with God.
You gotta remember when I grew up, we were so strict we couldn't go to a bowling alley because it had a bar.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We would certainly go to hell if we went there.
Were you raised Catholic? Or?
No, it was Protestant. Christian, just mainline. Nice. Yeah. But it was really crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm Southern Baptist, so I mean...
I'm embarrassed to even say this.
Go ahead.
So it was in my upper teens when I first knew what penis was, because my mother used to call it a go-go.
Not even like a tallywhacker?
No, just go-go.
Go-go.
It's a go-go. Yep. And of course, any discussion about any of that was off the table.
You never did?
No, we couldn't. No.
So wake me up before you go-go?
It was just bizarre.
That's a lot. Really? I mean, I've heard some of as a connoisseur of that appendage myself, I thought I had heard most all of the turns of the iterations thereof, but
right.
Go-go's a new one.
Right. Gotta learn.
Yep.
There you go.
Where were we? Sorry.
We were discussing Navy statistics. And then we went off on...
A tangent?
Yeah. Which is normal for us. Our 15-minute pre-podcast discussion went an hour. So
yeah,
that gives
that's what the listeners.
That was my fault.
Yeah,
I went off on a bunch of things.
But we always happen to go that way, though. It always happens to where we'll go off on tangents and keep talking about absolutely nothing. But yeah, so I would venture to say about 15 to 20% of the gay of the Navy is gay, because it is, like I said, it's a haven for gay youth and guys who want to escape the Midwest or whatever other square state they may be from.
Right.
So it's a great option. You know, there are times I just wonder if I would have done well in the Navy. I've got a lot of friends, like I said, that were in.
I could picture you in the Navy.
Yeah, I work well in a regimented tight.
Man,
I take discipline
tight
well.
Pants, you got a dancer's butt. Come on,
yeah.
You look great in those tight white pants.
Yeah, in the Cracker Jack pants, absolutely, I could do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yum. So, how old were you when you started experimenting with guys?
Oh, so we're going to a sexual experimentation first.
I didn't say the word. I just said
experimentation. Okay. Wow, that's actually a question I've never really thought about. So for me, it kind of started.
Let me ask you: was the velvet
outfit
a magnet?
No, the velvet sailor suit and matching white satin kerchief did not rub off on me, and I wasn't thrown into a state of sexual frenzy. But
wait a minute! Now that I'm connecting the dots here. We have a sailor theme going.
We do have a sailor theme.
We've touched on a couple spots.
Yeah. So, ships ahoy. But for me, first starting messing around, my first sexual awakening, I believe was when I discovered that I get a weird feeling in my pants when I watch pro wrestling. Oh my gosh, Ravishing Rick Rude from the early 90s. Oh, absolutely. So pro wrestling was when I kind of discovered...
Well, we just jumped to singlets just like that. Right?
Yeah, of course we jumped to singlets. But Ravishing Rick Rude was one of my early kind of like, ooh, my little sexual awakening. Pro wrestling. And so it was wrestling around with guys at a young age is when it kind of started for me. Kind of
you were not a wrestling team though, were you?
No, I was never on a wrestling team.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. I love, actually, little known thing, the word wrestling,
yeah. Big
turn on for me.
Really?
Really is. Big turn on. And no G. I need that N apostrophe. Wrestling. But it was kind of the beginning of my sexual awakening right there. Was wrestling around with guys after school. And like I said, was never on the wrestling team.
You never had a singlet, though, right? You just like...
I never had a singlet as a teen. As an adult, that's a different story.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We've always got singlets. I've got a few of them.
Well, we'll talk about the photo shoot later.
Okay. Yeah.
After we're done here.
Yeah. So yeah, and then with another guy, I would venture to say it was probably when I was around 15 and already in the performing arts school with some of the other students. At the age of 15, I already had a guy that I had, played with, and kind of had a pseudo boyfriend situation with. We went to Applebee's Friday night after school, my first little dates, which is weird because growing up, even in high school, like I said, I knew what I was. But at my home school, and when I say home school, I mean my regular school that I would go to for my classes back in Virginia, back in Suffolk, Virginia, that is, I would still be bisexual. I was still telling people that I was bisexual there. And I don't know why that is. I think it was just maybe easier for them to palate. And
I'm going to offend people here.
Okay.
You know what the definition of bisexual is, right?
I'm scared to ask, but go ahead. Lay it on.
It's just on the way to gay.
On the way. Just one stop. Just one more belt.
I don't believe that, by the way. But most gay guys seriously do believe that. But they really do.
Yes, anyway. I was telling people I was still bisexual, and I even had a little high school girlfriend. I had a high school girlfriend that I, had a beard. So that was a little weird, but basically I was still trying to...
Girlfriend being in quotes, of course.
Well, girlfriend being in quotes, of course. Which is weird because she actually grew up and to marry a guy that we went to high school with who I could have swore was gay.
He probably was.
Well, she may have just liked effeminate men. She may have just, had a thing for effeminate ladyboys. Who knows? I'm not the arbiter of anyone's sex conduct.
So you had one girlfriend.
I had one girlfriend.
And you didn't fool around with her?
I have fooled around with girls. So I'm not a gold star gay or a platinum gay, whatever that is. But I have... I was trying to think of a fun way to say, wow, I don't even know if I can say the P word. Pussy. I know, I'm sorry.
Well,
are you offended? Are you okay?
No, well, Trump said that, so I guess it's okay.
It's just a... So yeah, I have, quote unquote, tasted pussy.
Oh my God.
Get into it. Can we use that for a soundbite?
Eh.
Can we use that one? I've had pussy.
Okay.
Is it too much for you?
You're triggering me.
I'm sorry. I hate to bring up your past trauma.
Really? Ooh. Oh, wow. Anyway, so you moved out of that phase.
Yep. So moved out of that phase very quickly and efficiently. But yeah, I had to try it, and I was in a situation where, she was my date or I was her date for her prom. And
now you don't have little Shaun babies running around.
No, there's no little Shaun babies.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Absolutely sure. Only because I went to school with her for the remaining 3 years after we tried the deed. And there's no little Shaun.
So whose idea was the deed? Trying the deed?
That was hers.
Of course it was.
That was hers. And I was like, you know what? Sure. I'm on board. Now
you don't have a religious background, right?
I don't.
Because if you're a good Catholic boy, you can fall back on that. We got to wait till we're married.
No.
So it'll never happen.
No, I was raised Southern Baptist. My mother, I really want to give my mother a lot of credit for this because
she sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, she's always been very free thinking, very open. But when she raised us, we went to Sunday school and church every Sunday. Southern Baptist Church, once again. And her philosophy was, at the age of 10, you didn't have to go to church anymore.
You decide.
That's all on you.
Wow.
And so
that's very unusual, especially for a Baptist.
Yeah, and especially for a Baptist.
Right.
So at the age of 10, and it's weird because she gave me that free reign to do whatever I liked after the age of 10. But even in some of my teenage years, as I was trying to find out who I was and what my spiritual beliefs are and where I fit into the larger scheme of things and life, I even did like a brief stint where I was going to Catholic church. I was really taken with the long gowns and the robes,
the drag,
and the music in a minor key.
The drag,
the stand-up, sit-down pageantry of it all, and the little Romanesque architecture. Ooh, I was taken with it. It was pageantry.
Wow.
And so I even had a little brief stint where I would go to Catholic church and see if that was a match for me. And,
you weren't an altar boy, though.
I was never an altar boy. I was never an altar boy.
If you knew it was involved, maybe you would have done that. Maybe not. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
All right.
Let's not go there. But so, and it's funny because that even leads into my adulthood, really. As we talk more, you're going to find out more about my story. And, even into adulthood, I have popped into different religious sects with a T,
right?
And kind of like tried them on for size, in a effort to kind of seek out some sort of spiritual connection and groundedness in this world.
Where are you now?
Where am I now?
On that.
I am a spiritual being. I am a person who believes in the force or the energy that moves through everything. I don't want to call it like the force from like Star Wars, but it's kind of similar. I just can't move things with my mind. But so I believe...
Of course you can. You just are not developed enough yet.
Exactly. For the telekinesis to kick in. But the idea of a energy that flows through us all and the connectivity of all of us is really what I believe in now. And I'm a big guy who is into prayer and meditation. I love meditation. And honestly, you really don't even have to have some sort of spiritual practice to enjoy the idea of meditation. I cannot speak highly enough of what meditation has done for me, especially in and around ADHD. It is you wouldn't tell it from this podcast or this interview, of course, since we're bouncing around all over. But
oh look, there's a squirrel.
It's a squirrel. A squirrel.
And look at the sparkly thing up there.
I'm very, especially sparkly things. That's me and my dance mom's childhood. So all the sparklers and sequins. But it's really kind of grounded me and helped me focus thoughts, have an emotional maturity, which is something that really works well in combating the ever-present Peter Pan syndrome that we as gay guys typically find. So yeah, if you're not, where are you at, people? If you're not meditating, get in on that. You really need to try that out, and check out a meditation app. My favorite is called Insight Timer, and get into the idea of meditation for just the simple act of quieting your mind and aligning thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's where I am right now with my spiritual practice. I don't know if you want me to bring this up now. I personally, I'm sober.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself could be an entire podcast, actually.
Why don't we make that a separate podcast? Let's do that.
All right. I'm in for that. That's
a fun one.
That's a sordid story.
Is it?
It's a sordid story.
All right. We will definitely do that.
Yeah. That's been a fun one. Go ahead. Ask away. What's some more
I
questions?
need more podcasts. So anyway.
All right.
So you're in real estate, obviously.
Yep.
What made you get into that?
Oh, well, there's a few different stories with this. So growing up, I used to read house plan books, architectural plans. I would go to the library and I would check out a house plan book, and I would take it home and I would open it up and I would read over it for hours, just studying the floor plans, studying the drawings, studying the layouts.
And then you'd create your own house you want to build, right?
I was always wanting to create my own house, always drawing houses. It was And houses and architectural styles and design and all of that is still a big, big, big interest in my life. So that's where it stems from. It stems from the love of architecture, the love of design, the love of the idea that a person's home is their inner sanctuary, and you get a insight into that person's personality, that life, that individual, just by seeing how they live, where they live, and their home.
All right, I want to see if you're talking bullshit here. So what's your read on me? Give it. You're my agent. Come on.
What's my read on you?
Yeah.
You love art.
You better make
I got to make it nice too.
Look good.
Because I'm sitting in the same room with you. Well, you love art. You're very clean, and you're kind of a minimalist. You're not a person that has a lot of tchotchkes and thingamabobs and who's-its and what's-its.
You got to dust all it.
I do. Oh, it's such a pain. Such a pain. But you're very kind of minimalist of that. You enjoy the art. You enjoy simple, clean lines. You enjoy a very matter-of-fact, straightforward approach to things in a lot of time. So, but yeah, from there, it stems from there.
Wait, you left off the part that I'm the most amazing seller you've ever worked with.
You have a sparkling personality and an ass that won't quit. Yes.
Oh, wow.
You are an amazing seller.
Wow.
Yeah, you're actually a lot of fun to work with. So that's actually a boon for working with you. Is you're so much fun to work with, and never in my life have I had a seller say, "Hey, let's do a podcast."
Well, plus you've never had a seller say, the market is slow.
Yeah.
If any house sells, I want it to be my house.
Absolutely.
So what do we do? My idea. What did we do last week?
We are offering, I guess I could say this because it's not on the MLS.
Right.
But we are offering.
I want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll say it. That way you're not doing it.
Perfect.
For those of you who don't know, there's some recent real estate changes federally because the NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, got into a big, big lawsuit, as did many big firms, and they didn't want. It used to be that you'd have to pay the selling agent a commission. So they got in trouble for that because you couldn't go in the multiple unless you did that. Now the rules are changing, right? This month, right?
Yep.
Because of the federal law, because of these big lawsuits. So some sellers are going to say, I'm not going to pay the selling agent. I'll just pay my listing agent. Well, they're shooting themselves in the foot, of course, because who's going to show their house? Because the buyer's not going to pay their agent the commission.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm offering a nice commission to begin with, but I thought, okay, I want to spice it up so that if anybody's buying a house, I want to be my house.
Thank you.
So I'm offering an additional $20,000 to the selling agent,
which
that sells my there's another. We never even talked about this, Shaun, but there's another piece to this. To any acceptable offer that closes by September 30th.
Exactly.
Now, they used to do that in Seattle because I did real estate for years, and that's why I came up with all this. But some agents would the seller would say, okay, I'll give you, and normally it would be like $5,000. Exactly. I'll give you $5,000 for a full price offer. Well, that's stupid. You're shooting yourself in the foot because then that immediately creates a conflict of interest with the agent and their buyer because it's self-interest because the buyer is saying, what can I get this house for? Help me decide. And then the agent knows I have to get a full price offer if I'm getting this bonus.
Yeah.
So that's why I purposely put
an
acceptable offer, period.
And if you're gonna take your $20,000, you better bring a good offer.
Right.
You know?
Well, if it's not a good offer, I'm not going to take it.
Of course.
So it has to be an acceptable offer.
Of course.
But so
yeah.
That just shows you what a wonderful seller I am.
Just how they're amazing.
Yeah.
Just always a giver. But yeah, you're right. Actually,
Anyway.
You don't ever see amounts such as 20,000. Dearest gentle listener, he's right. Actually, you really don't see amounts that high. You're typically going to see about a 3% to 3%. Sorry, you're typically going to see a $3,000, $5,000, or either $10,000 number in that bracket when it comes to a buyer agent bonus.
Right. Plus, it's not a cheap house, so
yeah,
we got to
exactly
make it worthwhile for everybody.
Yeah. So,
share the wealth. That's my thought.
Exactly. So yeah, I moved to Palm Springs, and well, actually, let's say this: I first started doing real estate in Virginia.
You did?
I did. I had my license in Virginia right before the crash.
Before they kicked you out?
Before they sent me packing.
Okay.
You know, So yeah, back in 2007, I had my license in real estate, doing real estate in Virginia, and then the market crashed. Back in 2000, like I said, October of 2007 is when that first started happening.
The building started to crumble.
When it started to crumble. So I went back into what I was doing at the time, which is hospitality management for Marriott, and continued to do that until I moved out here to California, and then got back into real estate in California in 2014. And
so in your hospitality, is that where you did the escorting too? I'm kidding.
No. I've never done escorting.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. I give it away. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I totally give it away.
Huh.
Tell all your friends.
I used to do that. Did I tell you?
I'm scared to ask which part.
It was hard work, but hey, that $5 came in handy.
Honey.
Anyway, moving
Times
on.
is tough.
Yeah, there you go. So you like real estate?
I do.
Because I mean, I think we talked about this. I had a real estate license. At first, I gave up my license in Seattle, which I had for decades. I moved down here. Then all my friends from Seattle are thinking about coming to Palm Springs. So I go, I need to get a license. This is stupid. I can sell them a house. So I did that for a while. Then COVID hit. In fact, I got my license as COVID hit. It was crazy.
So you've had your California license here?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I gave it up it's been going on, not quite a year now, but nice. I gave it up.
Nice.
Because I'm not a dummy. And when I went to a party here, there'd be 40 guys, 40 gay men, and 20 of them are realtors.
Absolutely. You cannot swing the proverbial dead cat.
Yeah.
Without
hitting five.
Five of them.
Yeah. And there's no way I would go. There's a thing called farming where you would like work a neighborhood and you do all this stuff. And all these mailers and that. There's no way I'm even remotely interested in any of that. Plus, I don't want to deal with all the competition. It's like, and besides, many of the agents here are part-time. They're like me.
They are.
They were agents or they decided to get into it. They'll sell a few houses a year and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they're retired. They've got their pension. They're fine.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it.
Exactly.
So leave it to the young bucks.
Yeah.
The lions coming over the hills, they used to threaten us with, the lions are coming over the hill. In other words, the younger guys that are like, they're going to come and beat your ass.
Well, someone always, what's the line from Showgirls? There's always someone younger and hungrier coming up the stairs.
Right.
So get ready. I'm going to throw my beads out on the floor.
And these girls are hungry.
They are hungry. Hungry. But you know what? And if y'all are familiar with Palm Springs is basically a town that doesn't have much industry. So a lot of people move here, and it becomes one of the only options that they have to make money.
The weird thing which I discovered here is there's not a lot of younger guys here, but there are some. But they have like 5 jobs. Well, I'm a realtor, designer, hairstylist, interior decorator, florist and massage
therapist. Always got a massage therapist though.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Always. You don't even happen to have any training for that. Just put your hands on some willing person.
Right.
You're a massage therapist.
Yep.
So
my massage equipment is in that closet across from you.
Oh, is it?
By the way, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not giving that up.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey.
Although since my knee surgery last year, I haven't really done much of it.
You could save it to make a little bit of money on it, though.
They love it.
You know? But yeah, I mean, a lot of guys have side hustles out here. Porn doesn't pay that much.
Oh, and porn. Yeah, that's the other thing. They're just for fans.
Thank you.
Although some of these guys are making bank on that.
I'd be very intrigued to find out exactly like what that breakdown is and like what that W-2 looks like. And
well, if you're on OnlyFans or just for fans, they will get in a W-2 for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's income.
Yeah, I would very much like to see that. And a good friend of mine, once again, I'm a real estate agent. So if you're looking for real estate in Palm Springs,
I guess I'll let you.
Let that ride.
We'll put your.
Let me plug that real quick.
Your plug in there, but you work for what company?
I work for a local boutique brokerage called Platinum Star Properties.
And I originally met his owner broker, who is
Carl Borey of Platinum Star Properties,
and he was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And when I first started talking, well, actually a while back, I probably would have gone with him, except I've owned my own company and I know what it's like having a company.
Yeah.
So then I got the best of both worlds. I got Shaun and Carl in one package.
Yeah.
Boom. Yay.
And Carl and I have been selling homes together for quite a while.
Yeah. It's good combo.
Yeah, we've done. Never mind. I was going to say we've double teamed many a deal. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to drink a little water to wash my foot down. So
anyway, so you like it, the real estate?
I do. I really enjoy it. Especially for someone like myself who does have ADHD. It's always moving. You're not strapped to a desk. You always have something different going on every day.
Right.
There's an old adage in the world of real estate is every day you wake up unemployed. And so you have to go out there and find that business.
Yep.
So
I would set it a different way, but I'd say every day I'm looking for a job.
Yep. Every day I wake up unemployed where I have to go out there and find the next deal.
Which means you're entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
In my long life, I've only had one. I worked at a couple stores when I was young, and I was an electrician for a couple months, assistant.
Okay.
But when I was like 18, and I worked for a bank for a while in New York. But other than that, I've always worked for myself. In any job I've had, it's just crazy.
I much prefer working for myself.
Right.
I much prefer. I mean,
you love those paid vacations.
I do love those paid vacations. Exactly. I love those paid vacations. So it's a lot of fun working for yourself, actually. It is.
Right.
But on the other side of that, you do have to kind of keep yourself accountable. You have to kind of keep yourself engaged, active, because it's real easy just to turn the TV on or go do dishes or do something else in the house while you're working from home.
Do you work from home?
I do mostly work from home.
I couldn't do that. I needed the energy of the office because I was in a big office up in Seattle.
I'm mostly at home, though. I'm mostly at home by myself, sometimes wearing pants, sometimes not. But,
just like all the
that's
people
my dress code at work.
just like all the people on Zoom.
Exactly. My boss says it's okay, so it's fine.
You don't know what they're wearing on the bottom on the Zoom call.
Thank you.
Just don't stand up and get a drink of water. Which happened to people. That was pretty.
I was going to ask, have you ever done that on a Zoom call of any type? Where
No.
gone on there what we call shirt cocking?
Nope.
Okay.
Called what?
Shirt cocking.
Shirt cocking.
Shirt cocking.
What is that?
Here's your word for the day. Shirt cocking is when you wear a shirt
And nothing under it?
and nothing else.
So you just tuck?
Well, no,
You tuck the shirt?
It's just a shirt and no pants, naked.
Wow.
Shirt cocking.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
There you go. That's the term of shirt cocking.
Wow. There you go. All right.
What else can we teach you?
We're going to cut this off because we're at as long as I ever go on my podcast, but we are going to have you back.
All right.
And we're going to talk about sobriety and what else?
Let's
I actually want to talk about dancing more too.
Okay. I would love to talk with you on my journey through dance, my journey through musical theater, and working with Anne Margaret, and then as well as definitely get into the story of sobriety.
Wait, you worked with Anne Margaret?
Yeah, I worked with her when I did Best of the Whorehouse in Texas, the national tour in the early 2000s.
God, you'd beat me. My claim to fame is I woke up Raquel Welch. Do you know who that is?
Raquel Welch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who Raquel Welch is.
Yeah, I worked at it was a conference center. We had movie, like theater weekends or movie weekends, and I had to wake her up. They didn't tell me I could have called her, but that's another story. I'm kidding.
Nice.
I'm kidding. Anyway, so we're going to pick this up next time. And Shaun, you're a fun guy. Get my freaking house sold, all right?
We will. We are going to
get out there and get me a buyer.
Sell this house.
All right, you all, my thousands and thousands and thousands of listeners heard that.
Good.
I wish.
You got a huge following.
Yeah. More on some of my other accounts. But anyway, that's another story too. All right. Shaun, you're a fun guy. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it.